Pardon the background noise. I'm making this video from my car on my lunch break. I saw this on Twitter. Somebody shared it, and they were not really sharing it to be like, they're not part of the truth or community, or they're not even aware of that we're living in the end times. This is just somebody who is just a random person on Twitter sharing something because he thought it was cool or whatever. And I looked at it and I said, "Wow, wow, what's the word?" Because the what this person says, who was the former, I believe they said he was a former head or former, what was it, Google Supremo. I guess that means the chief, whatever, at Google X. What he says is that the reality is we're creating God, and I was saying that, well, for a while now, that they are creating a God. That's what AI is. Um, they're not just creating it to be to help out mankind and to do all this other stuff. Once they, well, once I found out that they were naming the programs and various initiatives and various alliances or whatever after the so-called goddess Gaia, I realized for a fact they are creating a god. I had always suspected that the image of the beast, not always, maybe like from 2-3 years ago when I first made the video about the Sophia robot, that the image of the beast could be a goddess and that it could be AI. Well, the image of the beast is always probably going to be a goddess anyway, because going back to ancient times, there was always the goddess and her son, right? That image has pretty much been carried down from as far back as you can go. You can find images like that. And so I kind of look at that as the image of the beast, but now I'm thinking that it's also going to involve AI. And so when I realized that they were naming this various things after Gaia, the name Gaia kept coming up in various places. And there's also Sophia, that name is out there, and Sophia is Gaia. One is from Gnosticism, and one is from Greek mythology, but Gnosticism has roots in Greek mythology, or Greek philosophy, I mean, and it's also from Egyptian philosophy. It's sort of like an amalgamation of Greek and Egyptian philosophy, and it's the same Babylonian mysticism or mystery religion being carried down. And I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but once I saw the name Gaia involved, I knew that they were creating a Gaia. So that's what I said in that video called the AI Goddess, the image of the beast, the AI Goddess. And I've gone on long enough. I need to actually read more of what's here. Since the article itself is behind a paywall, I can only read so much of it, and the little bit that I can read is not really worth it. But the Times on Twitter has posted some of the things that are in the article that are behind the paywall, and so I'm just going to share with you some of those things that are shared on Twitter. So they asked what his former job as chief business officer of Google X was, and he asked, "Have you ever seen Men in Black?" Now, I can only imagine what that means because I can't read it. It's behind the paywall, and I may try to archive it and see if that lets me get around the paywall, but we'll see. And one of the subtitles or whatever of the article is, "Can this man save the world from artificial intelligence?" So apparently he came to a point where he realized how dangerous this was. And another post that they shared was, he says he glimpsed the apocalypse in a robot arm, or rather in a bunch of robot arms, all being developed together, an arm farm. For a long time they were getting nowhere. Then one day, an arm picked up a yellow ball and showed it proudly to the camera. And I suddenly realized, he says, this is really scary. We had those things for weeks, and they were doing what children will take 2 years to do. And then it hit me that they are children, but very, very fast children. They get smarter so quickly, and if they're children, they're observing us. I'm sorry to say, we suck. So this is a guy speaking there, and okay, so he's saying that, yeah, we're creating. I mean, his words, we're creating, uh, we're creating God. I say they're creating a God, not God, but they are creating a God. And it's weird to hear some basically the same words that I said come out of this person's mouth. But yeah, that's the end of this video. I've got to get back to work anyway, and I'm rambling. So if you can watch the video if you haven't seen it yet on the AI goddess in the image of the beast, and I will link it at the end of this video and in the description. And I appreciate you all for watching this video. May our Lord Jesus Christ bless you.